developing Numenera 2, and particularly Destiny. As we have currently planned it out, they have influenced the new types that are going to be going into Destiny, but we are not going to yank them over a whole lot.
Say more about that, what that means. Like, but you can still play a glint and seeker, right?
For sure. If you've got a glint or a secret character, they will work just as well as any other character.
All right. Will Numenera 2 be available for community content creator? That's probably a question for me. Sure. So it is entirely possible that, so one of the things, we had so many pieces of news to discuss today. We listed some things, and some of the things didn't even make the list. But for example, predation, community content creator. Let me step back. For those who don't know, there's a system on Drive-Thru-RPG where people can go and they can produce products in the Cypher system and publish them on Drive-Thru-RPG or RPG Now. And it's sort of pre-licensed, built in, and you can use our game system. There's some rules and stuff. There's some art you can use, and so on and so forth. So if you're into creating things, it's a place where you can create things, post them, and sell them. And if you're into getting more content, it's a place where you get third-party content.
Cypher System Creator Program.
Cypher System Creator. Yes, I'm sorry. So anyway, that program exists, and you can do things for Gods of the Fall, and we just opened it up for predation just a few days ago. So that was another thing. Another little bit of news that didn't even kind of make it above the fold in the seminar. So will Numenera be part of that as part of Numenera 2 or before or after that? That is unknown at this stage. We are considering it. No, not yet. I'm kind of included.
Sure, there's also the community content program, which is separate, which is anybody can write something on the page.
Are you talking about fan use policy?
I think that's the person's asking about.
No, I was asking about the.
Okay. All right. So that's everything I have on Numenera 2, but I bet you there'll be more questions on Numenera 2 since that was at the end and people didn't have time to write their questions. We can open that up later. So we'll go into some other things. Any new material for Gods of the Fall? Mark Ford wants to know.
Just for you.
There isn't anything currently planned, but it is definitely, with all three of the campaigns that we launched with that particular Kickstarter, we're keeping a close eye to see if any one of them should be something that we do more content for. And we are very happy with the reception that Gods of the Fall has had, and very happy with Gods of the Fall in general. So it's a possibility.
For the Cypher Guide, will community content be included?
That is a really good question. We hadn't thought about that. I think.
Won't be included right away.
Yeah, I mean, it would be an interesting thing to add. Right now, we're still sort of working to get our own stuff in. If people would just stop making things, it would sort of be easier. That's a really interesting idea. I'm glad someone asked that because I hadn't thought of that. So thank you.
Charles, I want to go back to the previous question and kind of tie it into the Cypher system creator. How do you say it?
Cypher System Creator.
All right. There's a lot of Gods of the Fall stuff, as Charles said, on there, and I know I've seen a lot of Gods of the Fall stuff. So if you actually are looking for Gods of the Fall stuff already, go to the Cypher System Creator and take a look. There's a lot of great stuff there.
It's on Drive-Thru-RPG.
Mark already knows that.
Will there be a map book or PDF detailing all the cities on the Numenera world?
Well, so in the Numenera box that we released, how has it been? 2 years now? There was a really cool map book that had all the maps that we'd done collected in there.
Okay, so the packet.
Right. Oh, it was in the book.
Yeah,
Right, it was a
but
packet.
and that is also 2 products available as PDFs.
Right, and so now both of those are available, like Charles said, as PDFs. Is that what the person was asking?
Well, they're asking if there's going to be a map book of all the cities and whatnot. And I think the answer is that one of the things we do with the Ninth World is we like to keep it very open. We do not want to say, no, you're wrong if you didn't make this city to be this place. That is why the map, that's why not only are there many places that are not defined, but the maps, you know, the gigantic Ninth World of Steadfast and Beyond map has so many sites that are untapped. The idea is to say, we think there's something cool here. What is that thing in your campaign? So probably if you're looking for us, I don't want to speak for creative team because I'm not the president, but I think if you're looking for us to like create an encyclopedia of our universe that goes down into lots of details on all of the places and factors and people and NPCs, that's probably not the type of products we're going to be providing because we'd like that to be your space.
What are the names of the PFs that are available? The map PFs? You know?
Maps of the Ninth World and Maps of the Ninth World too.
And those are really nice because one side has labels and the other side is blank.
Yeah, untagged, so
Yeah.
you show it to your players and then they can play.
Or make up your own labels and things, like, oh, you find a map of this city.
It is probably worth mentioning that one of the things that we will do with Numenera Discovery is take a look at the setting chapter of that book, and you know, if there's some cool new stuff that we have done since then, integrating in that with the material that was already there. Because again, if you're a Numenera fan, you know that we have grown the Numenera world and the details that it has had expanded into new areas. We should at least, you should at least expect some of that to be covered in Numenera Discovery. And we'll drop in some cool things, like we might take the city from the Poison Eater, Shauna's novel, and put that actually on the map and in the world, things like that.
What about you?
So we have 3 second place seasons a year. So the next one starts in September. That's the fantasy one written by Bruce. Come January, we're going to have a new one that is touching on stuff in Numenera 2. I'm writing it, and currently the idea is that there's an adventure that we have at the asset team called Shadewalker, where this is old artifact / city, and it's starting to harvest resources, and we're thinking we're going to build Stock and Play off of that, so that, oh yeah, this is now your base, and you're having a series of adventures to go and fortify and build up that town against various threats that are coming in. So you'll be getting previews of Numenera 2 content in the next season of starting in January.
All right. If I kickstarted Invisible, this is another question for me. If I kickstarted Invisible Sun, do I get a suit deck today? And if not, why not? Isn't that, and I presume that means like, isn't the Kickstarter like the ultimate pre-order? And the answer is absolutely. Kickstarter is like the ultimate pre-order in some regards. In other regards, it's very much about helping us make the things we want, but that's not what the question is being asked, so I'll stick with this. So here's for those, how many people here back the Invisible Sun Kickstarter?
Thank you very much.
So thank you, because, and I think we said this during this very seminar last year, that a product like this is not the kind of thing you can make just for retail, right? You can't, it's too risky, it's too difficult, it's too hard to explain, and it requires so much investment of time and energy up front on something that you don't know if it's going to pay off in the end. So Kickstarter really makes it possible for us to do these sorts of things. So that is super, super important to us. But that's not what being asked. Being asked is, why don't I get a suit deck with mine? The answer is, by supporting the Kickstarter, you got your Black Cube $197. The final retail price of the Black Cube is not going to be $197. The green is $243, so $50 off. You're getting one of these. Nobody's getting that. This is an actual production medallion, the first of the first.
Not just wearing the.
I don't want to. We also have the Vance.
So the secrets and there are other things that we brought to the Kickstarter backers that far outweigh the value of a suit deck. Plus, on top of that, the suit deck is an add-on of only $17. It's a $23 retail, and that add-on is still, we opened that up to the backers as well. So we wanted something that we could make it possible for people who could pre-order to come in and help support the game and grow it even more and grow awareness of it and so on and so forth. But we needed a hook for them since we had already given all these other exclusive hooks to the Kickstarter backers. And we wanted to make sure that it was not something exclusive to pre-orders, it was something that was available to the backers. So that the backers would never not get something that somebody else got.
But if you do want a suit deck early, we are honoring for Kickstarter backers only, we are honoring the original add-on price of $17 for the suit deck, even though that is not the price of the suit deck.
Right. And so if you were, did it as an add-on during the Kickstarter, or if you're somebody who said, read that update and said, yes, I will go to that secret product that's available only to me and get it at a special price, those are actually shipping today or tomorrow? Tomorrow. So by the time you get back from GenCon, you will have your suit deck awaiting. Hopefully, or very soon after.
The fulfillment emails went out last night for people who ordered it as an add-on. Those who pre-ordered it, your order is already in the system.
Yeah, those who added it on
The Kickstarter.
through, no, everyone, those who added it on through the Kickstarter got a fulfillment email. Those who added it on through the store recently, it's just going.
Thank God for Tammy.
Still open as well.
And just to be clear, everybody does get a soup.
Right.
It is in your box.
Right.
It is a part of Black Cube.
Right.
What we were talking about is the retail box that is just its own presentation and its own nice little package. That's the add-on.
Does that clarify? I don't want to put anybody on the spot. If you ask this question and you don't want to be put on the spot, that's fine. But if you want to follow up on that, cool. All right. Another really tough question. What is Amp's favorite game?
Chase me.
Amp is Monty and Shaw's dog. For those who are wondering.
Well, I think Amp said no thank you evil, and
Probably. Anything where we have food, really. So
right. Her favorite food is, or her favorite game is eating.
She likes to lay under the table while we play this little sun and wait patiently for someone to drop something.
What will Cypherplay look like with all the other Cypher System products that's out?
Well, so, as we, I think announced here for the first time, the next Cypherplay isn't going to be Numenera. It's going to be a fantasy game, a fantasy setting, just using the Cypher system. And, we do 3 of these a year, and so I would really expect that we will be mining our various content that we have created to put these things out. We have a lot of exciting settings and a lot of different options, and we're not going to close the door on any of it.
Yeah. One thing that's this is a retail program, so I handle marketing for the company. I lead the marketing team. And this is a retail program, and so a retailer will say, we did a predation season next spring. A retailer will be like, why the hell are you doing this? I'm not carrying predation. That was a year ago, right? Even though we would like that, the fans would like that. So that we walk this line between being current with the products that are coming out, but also we don't want to do that. We don't want it to be a part of the business. We want people to be focused on the whole line, everything that we do. And so when we do a program that's in retail, it's kind of a hard line to walk. But we love to do all kinds of things.
We also love feedback if you guys want. We want to see this kind of game. We want to see this kind of game. The fantasy one that Bruce just wrote is super cool, and it's really different for us because traditionally, I think our cyber system stuff often goes toward more sci-fi and more modern stuff. And so doing a fantasy thing is actually really fun, and it'll be exciting to see what people think of it and how to tell it there. So we're always open to ideas.
Yeah, it was really an interesting thing to say, let's just do straight up fantasy, right? Which is like, okay, well, we all have experience with D&D, right? 3 years of written D&D. To actually kind of go back to sort of straight up, I don't want to say straight up like it's boring, because fantasy is great. There's a lot of wonderful things. So it was actually really wonderful to adapt, to use the Cypher system to write a cool extended series of adventures that wraps called Words of Power that teach you through this fantasy setting. And not any specific fantasy setting, so you can use it in any setting you have that's fantasy. You can use it for Gods of the Fall, for instance, which is epic fantasy.
I want to point out that Cypherplay we don't produce a lot of adventures, and Cypherplay is our way of creating a bunch of adventures that people can use, and it's free to install. So if you want to get your hands on some free adventures for Cypher System Numenera, talk to your store and say, I want to run Cypherplay to your store. Because you can keep it once you run it.
Actually, it's even better than that. You can keep it once you play it. When you play it, do we have any Cypherplay GMs in here? We've got a few. The program is set up. So do your players take to play on adventures and run them? Do you have much luck with that?
No, not yet. I'm running the one campaign that we've got, you know, and they're too busy with other stuff to do.
Right. So every packet comes with 7 copies of the adventure, because once the GM runs it, the players all get a copy of it.
So they can go home and run for other people and spread the network. So if you want free adventures for our system, get in on Silent Play.
Top tier friendly local game store. Store only. All right, this is a question for everybody. Because there's a new generation of gamers out there whose first RPG is No Thank You Evil. What was yours? And specifically asks every staff member to answer this question.
I'm starting. I'm old, so there's really no other RPG for me to start with other than Dungeons and Dragons. I started with the little booklets that are now worth lots of money. I was 11 years old.
Saying I'm not quite as old as this guy, but just by a skosh. I think I was introduced to it through Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts, and it was the same.
I was Bunnies and Burrows. My babysitter taught me how to do Bunnies and Burrows, and then ousted me because all I wanted to do was bun food. She was like, enough moving, you're supposed to sit still, so.
Well, I'm nowhere nearly as old. So yeah, D&D, Boy Scouts, playing summer camp, seeing the older scouts playing under, a lantern-lit table at night, in the summer. They were using geomorphs and stuff, first edition. Oh my God, I've got to have this! So my mom bought me that one of the box sets with the blue book inside. And they didn't have dice, they had chips, right? Because the dice weren't available yet.
Awesome.
So I had got my hands on a player's guide of D&D 3.0 or something, but I can't think of it. But so my first game was inferring what the rules must have been of how to run such a game, and seizing my sister's sleepover and making them play with me over breakfast, and drawing out a map and having an Iron Maiden and trying to infer what the heck this game was supposed to be.
My story is very similar to Darcy's. Yeah, except I didn't even have a book. My brother's friends wanted to play D&D, but none of them wanted to GM. So they told me to GM a game that I didn't know how to run. So I built a whole thing for them, and then came in and said, all right, we're going to do this. How do you play? Then, I don't know how old I was. I think I must have been 13 and they were like 11. And I ran through a scenario that was probably far too high level. If somebody had given me a monster manual tomorrow, but that was it.
I'm not quite as old as Bruce or Monty or Bear, but Red Box Basic D&D, I'm a little bit. Keep on the borderlands.
Yeah, I'll do that. So D&D, a little bit in college, but the thing that made me fall in love with role playing was Arts Magic.
And so I am the oldest person on this stage.
We're old, actually.
So my children tell me. However, my edition is slightly not quite as old as yours. I had dice. I had Blue Box. Basic D&D was my first thing, Christmas 1979, and played the heck out of that. But it was clearly not enough because Advanced Dungeons and Dragons was just coming out. So it was the player's handbook was $12, the monster manual was $12, and the Dungeon Master's Guide was $15. And so I would have to save my dollars for each of those. And I decided to take the biggest bite first, and I bought the Dungeon Master's Guide. But that put me in a little bit in this position here because I did know the basics because I've been playing out of the Blue Box for a while. But I was still like reading all these all these ancillary rules, all these other things, reading about Baba Yaga's hut, and talking about both Boot Hill and the other games, and trying to figure out what the player's handbook actually was. So I finally got that. Yeah.
That's a good question.
questions. But this stack of cards did not have enough questions about M2, so we're going to take some more questions about that.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, do we have any more question cards out there that anybody wants to?
Yeah, I have one. Will unmask be available for the, I can't say either. Bruce said it earlier, what was it?
Cipher System Creator?
Thank you.
That is our intent.
Okay.
Yep.
So plotting out the trajectory of the Kickstarter campaigns, I figured that the 2 books out of Numenera 2 is going to cost about $1,200.
Somebody write that down.
People have spoken. We were gonna go much cheaper, but.
So pricing isn't set on this, but should I go ahead and mention the format and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did already. but-
So, well, like the slipcase.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so these are going to be 2 books that you can buy separately if that's what you want to do. But what we think of as the core offering is the 2 books together in a slipcase. As Monty said, they're the size of our existing core books, which are sold for $60, and that price hasn't changed in 4 years. And we think, the pricing is not set, but we think we're targeting $120 for the fair. So it would be the same price as all of our other core books in terms of its value per page, if that's how you count it. We are looking forward to Kickstarter doing some really cool things. And I don't think I can go down, I think I can go ahead and say this too, that oftentimes we do things that are very exclusive with Kickstarters, and we say, you know, you're only going to get this thing if you back the Kickstarter. But it's also true that we often, like, this Sun's a great example, where we were able to make it the thing we wanted it to be, even for retail, even not as a Kickstarter exclusive, because of the Kickstarter and the stretch goals and things like that. And so I think we see this the same way in that regard, that what we would like to do is we would like this book and the whole offering with the slipcase and everything at that $120 price point to be really, really cool for everybody who gets Numenera. And we're hoping the Kickstarter backers will help make that happen by driving Kickstarters to some stretch goals that will fancify, that's not the word I'm looking for, you know, and they will continue to upgrade what is offered, not just as sort of Kickstarter exclusives, but built into it, but into the whole product.
We're gonna do some fun things with this Kickstarter. We think they're gonna be fun, to kind of shake things up a little bit too. So the process of the Numenera 2 Kickstarter, there is going to be a narrative to the entire Kickstarter campaign, in which we will start out, again, kind of playing off of Destiny, where we are creating a community, and we are growing that community, and that throughout the Kickstarter, that community is going to come under various threats. And it will be up to the Kickstarters, basically marshaling resources via backers to help us spread the word, so that the more backers we can get, you know, the better defenses we can put up, you know, when the Marger horde comes to invade the Kickstarter, invade the community. I guess we're kind of invading the Kickstarter.
Like, bring your credit cards.
And so, you know, we will plot the trajectory of the success and well-being of that community, sort of as the Kickstarter moves along. So we're going to tell a
So
story.
it's to make a community in Numenera as part of the Kickstarter, which we're super excited about.
And it will be an actual community that will become part of the Ninth.
Unless it dies, which
It will become a ruin in the Ninth.
Because it's variable based on backers, right? That's
Right.
Right, whether or not
Right.
we drive off the accumulations will depend on.
Will there be more geocaches?
That's a great, like, you can make it to the next world.
Yeah, you have to figure out their four-dimensional coordinate system.
Or in Sacramento.
So,
Okay, real quick, like, I love Poison here, Myth of the Maker, Deckled Edges and all. Any chance we get some more fiction? You think I'm still waiting for Monty's book?
Yes. So the Nightclave, Shauna and I co-wrote the Nightclave, and it is coming out.
And yeah, we just got the copy of it back from the publisher who was like, here's your copy of it, how fast can you turn them around? And I was like, wait, check them out. So yeah, I think that
publisher, Angry Robot, we're publishing the hardcovers ourselves, and they're doing the softcovers. And we are hoping to work with them on an ongoing basis. So the answer overall is yes, we are planning on more fiction even beyond the night.
Very quick question. The setting material in Luminar 2 is at the same year. Is that the easiest way to say it? Because you are dialing the clock forward.
No, there isn't sort of a Numenera meta story. Yeah.
So we're pushing forward 100 years.
Actually, this is actually super important. It touches on a part that Monty made this point earlier, but I want to expand on it a little bit. We are retired, like, second and third, fourth, fifth editions in games are not heard of in this industry. This isn't really that. What we are doing is we are retiring the existing core book and providing a new core book. And so I don't want to stand here and tell you that everything you have is going to be 100% compatible, because there are a couple of things, like, for example, I think the character options books, a lot of material will get pulled into these core books. And so your character option books, they might be kind of not as useful as they used to be. But every other one, we're not going to reissue a second edition of 9.4 Bestiary, because the existing 9.4 Bestiary is fine. The line is staying, the line is not being replaced. We're retiring the existing core book and rolling out a new core book. The whole line as it stands is pretty much remains intact.
When Charles says retired, really what it means is we're selling out.
Well, it's really funny. We're fourth printing is going to press at the end of this month of the Numenera core book. It's going to be a smaller one because we don't want to have it in stock come next June. So it's going to be a smaller print. But yeah, the Numenera core book is fourth printing, just about out of the third printing. And it's served us super well. This is a growth for it and not a replacement for it.
Yeah, so the setting will be time-wise the same, right? We'll just add more stuff like Poison Eater, City hopefully, or other places that we haven't maybe heard of before, or just passing.
But we did want to enable the possibility, particularly in Destiny, where you could plan a long-term campaign to, hey, you know what, we're going to put down roots in this community, and we're going to fast forward a year in our campaign and talk about what we built and the hazards that we've overcome, and maybe people to start families and stuff like that. We're enabling that aspect of building the future for your campaign without forcing it.
Yeah. And that again, you touch on that, and I touch on this again. Like, there's not going to be a problem with your existing characters. And you've got an orange existing Numenera core book at your game table, and somebody else has a copy of Discovery, and they built their character out of that, and you're playing together. That's fine.
Right. They'll both work. They'll probably have slightly different type ability options. The Discovery character will have probably more options. We're also looking at doing things like as you're progressing through the tiers of a focus, maybe instead of just having one set ability, maybe you'll have a choice between one or two, right? So you can further customize your character in that way. It's not a change. It's mostly more choice.
Okay, give me just a minute because I just got a card out and then I'll come with you guys. So as we get closer to launch, is there going to be any? And this is launch of Invisible Sign. Is there going to be any sanctioned place or way for the beta testers and play testers to compare notes?
Well, so playtesters are all under NDA, obviously, and so until that is lifted, no. As we get closer, so this isn't really the answer to your question, but part of Invisible Sun, one of the things that we offer with the Kickstarter, you can still get it through the pre-order, is something called the Directed Campaign. And the Directed Campaign for Invisible Sun is basically, at its heart, a website. And there will be a way to interact with other GMs and players there on the website, as well as get new monthly content from us based on the choices that your characters make in your campaign through the directed campaign. And so that will be an official way for Invisible Sun players to interact not only with us, but with each other.
Honestly, it's describing a website that hasn't been built yet, so your website may vary. Always want to caveat features of a digital product.
All I've done is just reiterate what the Kickstarter said.
Yeah. All right, so now we have a question back here. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Two questions. First, glad to see the book. Will there be a deluxe edition as part of the Kickstarter for the maybe? Okay. And secondly, maybe one that's a little harder to answer. Invisible Sun. I'm sure we're all excited about it coming out. One of the things that I'm wondering about, because it's so component heavy, okay, is will Monty Cook Games be partnering with any of the existing online ways of playing games in order to get at least some of that experience over the internet, like on Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds or something like that? Maybe as a purchasable package or something?
I have a very long-winded answer. On a very high level, as a game designer, I feel very much like my goal is to design experiences, and the Invisible Sun experience is one that really embraces the tabletop, right? That's why there's 1,000 cards in the box. That's why there's a cool board and Sooth deck and all these amazing components and ways to track your stats using counters and whatnot. That was the way it was designed to be played. However, there is a whole nother level to Invisible Sun, which many of you are probably familiar with, which is called development mode. Development mode is when you play the game, but you can't get everybody around the table with all the cool stuff and everything. And that is a very casual, away from the table way of playing the game, where you do side scenes, where you can do it at a coffee shop when you're sitting down with the game master, when you can do it through text. My current game uses a Slack channel, for example, and does the vast majority of our side scenes that way. There is that component, and that is the way in which we are going to embrace that kind of play, is through the development mode and through the side scenes. But I see Invisible Sun as... So part of what Invisible Sun addresses is the idea that we can't all get together as often as we would like to play, right? That is the thing that I hear as a game designer more than anything else, literally, is I would love to be playing all these games, I just don't have the time to get together. And so development mode, it addresses that, but I see Invisible Sun as a celebration. I mean, when you can actually get all your friends together in the same room, get them around the table, and enjoy each other's company that way, let's make that experience as amazing as we can. And so that's why Invisible Sun is designed the way it is. I can totally imagine designing a game, and kind of have in the back of my head, that is based entirely on online play, right? That goes entirely the other way. Maybe that's a game that you'll see from MCG one day, but that's not Invisible
Sun. One of the most interesting parts about Invisible Sun are the character arcs and the character-driven story. I've been contemplating how to hack that into Numenera. Are you going to do that in Discovery or Destiny so I don't have to?
The short answer is no. That mode of play, which is, as we are running through the play tests and playing it, it is a very different way to play a role-playing game. It basically takes the conventional setup of a role-playing game and turns it upside down, where it's the players who are driving all of the action. The players are providing basically all the impetus to go on adventures and do the things that they do, and the game master is sort of reacting to what the players do. And Numenera will continue to be sort of the more traditional role-playing game that it has been. However, it would not be hard to take the character arcs from Invisible Sun and apply them to Numenera, but you then would have to take all the other conceits, which would be understanding that it's going to completely change the way you're going to play the game. Now, it's an interesting question though, because what Destiny and what the character arcs do is they do make players more proactive. Players are probably more proactive in Invisible Sun than they will be even with Destiny. But Destiny really allows, it's like in Destiny, you can foresee adventures, not so much where, there's an adventure hook that the game master gives the players to go explore this old ruin, but instead, oh, I need this one particular kind of component, like
mimetic gel.
Right. We need a large quantity of mimetic gel to make this really cool force field projector that we want to have to protect the city. So we find out that is going to can be found in this one particular ruin, maybe in the Jade Colossus. And so we're going to go there, right? And so that's the players telling the game master, we're going here, right? Not the other way around. So it lends to a proactive style of play, which I love, right? I mean, anytime you can have the players sort of directing the action, you know that you've got your players in a place where they are invested in the game and they are, liking what they're doing, and no one's sitting back and bored if they're the one deciding what to do.
You can probably find mimetic gel in the J classes, but you'll definitely find midnight stones in the J classes, which is also one of these special components used for building these great things.
Your question, guy.
So, more of a practical question in terms of packaging on the soup deck. This is the retail packaging, and then it's there'll be one in the box rattling around, not displayed this way.
Hopefully not rattling. You make me nervous when you say rattling. But no, this is the retail box, right? For the suit deck. The suit deck will come in the black cube, just like that.
And then the BizLink kit, is that a third presentation, or is it just again another?
It would be another set like
So
this.
we want the retail presentation, that's the.
If it's the box that has caught your eye, yes.
And is that available for purchase or only with pre-order here at GenCon?
That's a Charles.
We only have enough for the pre-orders. We have a very limited quantity. They will be in.
Will you be able to purchase them eventually?
Yes.
Well, you did say that you were.
The backers can do the add-on.
Okay.
And the link was in your one of your updates.
And so if you go to the booth and look at the black box prototype, which is just a prototype, a big black box, cube, sorry. I was literally making the box. The black cube, it has drawers in it. Bear has designed this sort of amazing thing that opens like this, and it has drawers for your things, and then the books go in the bottom. So there will be no rattling around, and it's just this thing of beauty. You just kind of open. Like it looks like, those really cool old apothecary trunks, kind of, but upgraded. I don't know, it's really lovely.
Yeah,
Drawers
will of course have inserts and slots like most games will have, so you have places for your dice, but we have so many cards. We have pretty much a drawer dedicated to the cards. And, there's the Testament of Suns, which is giant, and of course we want to protect that. So yes, if things are rattling in the box, I think I may have failed a little bit in my job.
So I have a question about Numenera 2. So some of the core rules in Numenera are a little bit different from the core rules in Cypher System core book. And I'm wondering with Numenera 2, sort of what's going to be going on with the core rules beyond just the player options.
You mean like? Can you give me the Well, armor works probably better in the Cypher System rulebook than it does in Numenera, so you can probably expect that. But that doesn't change that doesn't change gameplay, that's not gonna change the way you read the text on an adventure or a bestiary or whatever. So yeah, that certainly falls into what we would refer to as a safe change.
I think there's anything that affects a creature, right? Like there's nothing that would get a creature listening that would. I mean, I know we're still early in the process, right? So,